Freaks the fuck out. Calm down.
Of them in the conservative echo chamber, in which he airs a long list of complaints about the former president. A big spender, he says. Not tough enough at the border, he says. Friend of Fauci. Too damaged to win the White House again. There's more as Governor DeSantis looks to use his first days as an official candidate to reset both his campaign and to reset the broader contours of a Republican race that right now is being run on Trump's turf. It is a tightrope no Republican has managed to walk before. Take on Trump without earning the ire of his loyal base. This is how Governor DeSantis right here hopes to keep his balance, with Trump-like promises to purge the deep state and to look even at giving clean slates to insurrectionists.
Do you think the January 6th defendants deserve to have their cases examined by a Republican president?
On day one, I will have folks that will get together and look at all these cases who people are victims of weaponization or political targeting, and we will be aggressive at issuing pardons.
Let's get straight to Miami. CNN's Steve Contorno is there. Steve, it is an interesting and a risky strategy.
That's right, John. I've been covering Governor DeSantis for the better part of the last decade. I have heard him speak probably more than 100 times. I have never heard him go after the former president in such direct terms. And keep in mind, he was in Congress for 2 years while Trump.
It's so funny. Because Ron DeSantis can't actually say anything mean about Donald Trump. Every little thing. Look at this. Have folks that will get together and look at these cases. And we will be aggressive at issuing pardons? Like what?
Political targeting, and we will be aggressive at issuing pardons.
What
did he say there? That is anti-Trump? Am I crazy? What am I missing here?
Miami, CNN Steve Contorno is there. Steve, it is an interesting and a risky strategy.
That's right, John. I've been covering Governor DeSantis for the better part of the last decade. I have heard him speak probably more than 100 times. I have never heard him go after the former president in such direct terms. And keep in mind, he was in Congress for 2 years while Trump was president. He was a closely aligned governor with Trump for 2 years as well. And during that stretch, he never really publicly raised any sort of criticisms with the Trump presidency.
Yeah, he's trying to do everything he can to triangulate and not say anything mean about Donald Trump. Because the base is Donald Trump, and he knows it, and he's Donald Trump's guy, and he knows it. He's Donald Trump's little guy. That's how he got the fucking power. So he's doing everything he can to just say he'll be a good president without, addressing the elephant in the room, which is, well, there's another guy that's also running for president who you have to go up against. So what's up with that? And the media is so desperate for a point of contention. The media is so desperate for conflict that they're unironically going, oh my God. Oh my God. They're fighting. They're fighting. They're fighting. I've never seen somebody throw down so hard. Oh my God. Bro, he ain't say shit. What the fuck are you talking about? He didn't say nothing about Donald Trump.
In fact, he often cheered it on, and he sought and ran on President Trump's endorsement when he ran for governor in 2018. But this change in strategy is clearly designed to try to urge some Republicans to get behind him and to cast the Trump years as not as great as maybe some people remember.
No, it's the fucking friend of Fauci comment, which is literally nothing. He is so... Dude, he's so pathetic, okay? American voters do not want subtlety and passive aggressiveness. You can't mutter shit under your breath. You're in a primary. Get your fucking cock out and put it on the goddamn table, okay? Just slap the fucking table with your penis and say, fuck you, Donald Trump. I'm gonna be better than you, you fucking bitch. This all I will be better than friend of Fauci. That's terrible. That's terrible. News drama baiting them so hard they want a Monday Night Raw. I know. But Ron DeSantis has to say something. He has to say something against Donald Trump eventually. Otherwise, everyone's going to go, why the fuck would we vote for you? You know what I mean? Why would we vote for you over Donald Trump? How are you going to be better? Okay? Ron simply doesn't have that dog in him. He does not. So the media could try to hype this fucking fight up as best as they can, but we expect more from Ron DeSantis, okay? And right now, he's not giving it to us. He's not giving it to us at all, as a matter of fact. But what do you expect from the guy who did this when he was running for governor originally?
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you
I like that this entire fucking video, this entire ad is basically Ron DeSantis' wife saying he's so much more than Trump, and then him going, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not more than Trump. You're wrong."
So good.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis for governor.
So, yeah, what do you expect from that guy? That's how he won, and he barely won. That ad didn't hit like as hard as it was supposed to, okay? And he barely won with that against the dude who was then later found to be doing like meth with gay hookers in a Florida in the Fountain okay? So like he almost lost to Andrew Gillum. That's actually what happened, by the way. That's not even a fucking joke. I'm not even remotely kidding. Okay? So what's up? What's he going to do? How's he going to fucking challenge Trump? There's nothing wrong with that. Fuck yeah. Dude, Andrew Gillum would have been an infinitely better governor than Ron DeSantis. Okay? Are we ignoring the racist baby? Yeah, that's pretty funny. They have the Make America Great Again onesie for the baby. We got to stop those. They're indoctrinating our children. Except, like, I'm not a fucking weird, gross Republican pervert, so I don't care about what fucking children are wearing, dude. Okay? Anyway, why do you lie, Haas? About what? Sometimes American politics is a little crazy, which is why I understand if you think that I'm lying to you when I say Ron DeSantis almost lost to a dude who was propped up as the next Barack Obama in the Democratic Party, who then a year later was outed as someone who was doing methamphetamine. Andrew Gillum is a ledge, although funded by Bloomberg. Wait, what? I'm so confused. What? So you do know then. Okay, so I was right. Anyway, as I was telling you, okay, as I was letting you know, that is real. It's a very real thing that happened, okay? He did that. He was not really that progressive. No, Andrew Gillum was not going to be that progressive. He was seen as like he was like Obama. They were propping him up. But ultimately, he would have been better than Ron DeSantis. But the state of Florida has never actually ended up hiring, or electing a fucking solid governor anyway. After all, the last governor of Florida was Rick Santorum is what I was about to say. Holy shit. Rick Scott, who looks like literally Voldemort. Like he looks like a lizard person. And his actions in the state of Florida leading up to his gubernatorial run was literally no. That right there was not even a I have to pee really bad, so I peed pee. That was a I needed attention pee. You want to care to know the difference? It's because she didn't even pee all that much. She peed like a little driblet, okay? You want to know why I know that? That was a fuck you pee. That 100% was a fuck you pee because she's a little bitch, okay? She's an absolute bitch. 100% your fault? Oh, shut the fuck up. Take a day off. No. She peed a little bit, Just a tiny bit. You want to know why? Because I had just let her out to pee not that long ago. I let her out to pee not that long ago. So she didn't even have that much pee in her fucking body. So when I took her outside immediately, she had no piss left because she didn't actually have to pee. Where is she now? She's dead. I killed her. No, I put her in her crate, which I'm sure she will spitefully piss inside of, and then literally will fucking lay in her own piss, most likely. Dogs don't have spite. It was for attention and it worked, lol. I know, but there's nothing I could do about that. She was just really concerned about the debt ceiling? Yeah, that's why she pissed. Fuck. It must be so much to see all these chatters tell you how to raise your dog like you have no clue. I know. It's very frustrating. Fuck off, Haas. Dog barks, take him out. Barking and grumbling are the only communication tools dogs have. If the dog wants to go outside, why not take a 5-minute break and then let them see the outside? I don't know. Because that's a fucking dog, and I'm a human. Are you a dog? Are you Kaya? Are you typing this from the computer upstairs? Are you fucking stupid, Jessica? Please use your fucking brain for 3 seconds. Are you insane? You're supposed to literally capitulate to the fucking whims of your dog? What are you, fucking stupid? Don't fucking question mark me, bro, you dumb bitch. What's wrong with you? Dogs don't rule the show. Your child does not rule the show. This is how you arrive at fucking dumbass kids named Braden, Aiden, Caden who do whatever the fuck they want. What are you, stupid? When a dog barks for attention, you're not supposed to give the dog attention, okay? That is how you have a bad dog. That's why so many of these dumb bitches end up having dumbass fucking dogs who bite everybody. That's how so many of these dumb bitches end up having dumbass children who do that version of the same thing that I'm talking about, but in a child or in a grown-ass adult way. The fuck do you mean? Here, this is what happens when you don't fucking, I don't know, properly educate Braden, Aiden, and Caden. And Caden, they end up doing bomb threats at the fucking latent target. Okay? Is that what you want? You want more fucking dumbass kids who need lobotomies before they become dumbass adults? I saw a guy last night on Facebook with sons named Jace and Triger LeMafiao. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you saying? You're not supposed to give the dog too much attention, but not 0, omega lol. You don't give 80, but don't go all the way to 8. Chatter said if the dog wants to go outside, you let them, and you literally asked if the chatter was the dog. Come on. Bro, are you stupid? When a dog is barking to get my attention, if I literally respond to that in a positive manner, I'm basically, this is literally dog training 101. I hope you understand this, okay? There's 2 different types of barking. There's the I want attention because I'm fucking bored type of barking, even though she has all the toys at her disposal. She has literally things that actually mentally stimulate her, but she wants more, and that's fine because she's a puppy, okay? And that's one thing. But the other type of barking is when she's like, I have nowhere to go, I can't pee, please take me out so I can go out and pee or poop, okay? So I can defecate. That was an attention piss because I had just taken her out to pee already. Okay, explain to me something I don't know because I don't own dogs since I was born, but okay, teach, preach. Well, even though you've had a dog since you were born, you sound like a fucking dumbass. You sound like a dumbass when you're like, hey, why don't you respond to your dog when your dog is barking and give your dog attention so she barks more because she now understands, oh my God, action and reaction. I got what I fucking wanted. Literally every single dog trainer on the motherfucking planet would tell you, do not respond to your dog when they are barking for your attention because they're fucking bored. And now they will learn that that is the only way to get your fucking attention. Oh my God. Also, what do you mean? Were you raising a fucking dog while you were in the crib? Like, is that how what I'm supposed to get out of this? Like, you've had a dog since you were a baby, so I guess, like, you're more knowledgeable, so I should just take your advice, even though it is quite literally the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be doing? Yes, I was sucking on a tit and teaching a dog how to be. Well, maybe you should stop sucking on a dick in this fucking chat and become a better chatter. Have you thought about that? Take an hour off, dumbass. What a dumb stun lock. Right now, I'm doing the exact opposite thing, thinking that human beings could be trained in a different way because I think humans are smarter than puppies. And I'm wrong. A lot of you chatters are just as stupid as a fucking puppy. You currently are getting that attention that you are ordering by barking at me in the fucking chat, and it is the dumbest thing I can do. The dumbest thing I could do in this circumstance is respond to these dumb fucking chatters who are currently barking and pissing and shitting and farting in their diapers. It's crazy. Some of you are barely sentient. How do you think you could train a dog, let alone train your fucking self to not behave the way that you're behaving? Chatters are dog experts, but then have one of those little piece of shit Shih Tzu mixes that only have 2 modes, bark and growl, and they got those poopy little eyes. Yeah. Yeah, let me get a fucking dog that's going to be 100 pounds to just be like an annoying fucking incredibly loud, incredibly aggressive puppy because some dumbass watching me decided that's the best way to go about it. That same dumbass probably has a fucking chihuahua who bites everyone too. Are you annoyed at us? You are so patient usually. Good one. I'm not. I am impatient because I think I expect more from humans. I think that they can just like be normal. I mean, there you go. Attention-seeking barking means your dog barks for your attention, and we've all been there. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to fix his behavior. Try to reward your dog when he's quietly laying at your feet, which I do all the time. When he barks, ignore him. Don't look at him or laugh. Yes, laughter is reinforcing too. When your dog is quiet, turn towards him and reward with treats and cuddles, which I do all the time. Just not on fucking camera. Classic example of a barking dog, extinction burst. Your dog barks. You ignore your dog. Dog barks louder and longer. He keeps getting louder and louder and louder. Ride it out. Your dog is learning that attention-seeking barking is ignored. Whatever you do, please continue to ignore your dog even when barking as if is at its worst. If accidentally you glance at your dog while an extinction burst is happening, your dog will think, I need to scream for 10 minutes while standing 2 inches from my owner's nose. Then he can hear me. He needs to learn any type of vocalization does not work. Only when he's quiet does he have your undivided attention. It's yet another one of those instances where like chat is just so absolutely off base. Like certain chatters are so absolutely off base, but so like self-assured. It's like some of you need to have less confidence, okay? Maybe it's the anonymity. Maybe it's because your parents always told you you're the fucking best. But like Just have less confidence in yourself, I think, because you're wrong. Sometimes you're fucking wrong. Oh, man, that's called arrogance? I know. Anyway.
Risky bet. As you said, there are still a lot of Republicans who look back on those past 4 years fondly, even though they might be open to a potential alternative in 2024. The question is DeSantis pushing those people off the fence toward him or pushing them away from him because he is being so critical of someone they still really, really like? But DeSantis has got a lot of money behind him. He has raised over $8 million in the first 24 hours since he was since he jumped into the race. And he is going to put that money behind this message, get out in front of as many voters as possible, and continue to make his case to conservative media that he is the best person to lead this fight and to go into the White House and use the presidency in a way that Republicans have been too scared to use it before, John.
That's the fascinating beginning of the official DeSantis campaign. Steve Contorno for us in Miami. Steve, thank you for getting us started. Let's bring the conversation in the room with me to share their reporting and their insights. CNN's Lauren Fox, Zolan Kano-Youngs of the New York Times, and Jackie Kucinich of the Boston Globe. I call
Kaya, please free me. Thank you for the 10 gifted
a tightrope.
You fucking idiot.
The question is it different? Is it different now that Trump has been president than it was in 2016 when Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, John Kasich, Rand Paul, and so on and so forth, said Donald Trump's not a real conservative, Donald Trump's not a good person. Ron DeSantis saying he's not a committed conservative, he's damaged goods, I can win, he can't. Can you sell that? Can you go that aggressively after Donald Trump and keep enough of the Trump voters to win the Republican nomination?
That's what Ron DeSantis is banking on. Whether he'll be successful is something else entirely. I mean,
you especially cannot do that when you have like every fucking centrist Republican also running, okay? You got Tim Ryan. You got Nikki Haley. You got all these fucking Republicans that are running against Ron DeSantis, doing Ron DeSantis. That lineup is not going to favor Ron DeSantis. It's going to hurt. Did I say Tim Ryan? Sorry, Tim Scott. Tim Ryan is the other virgin.
Trump has, and Trump is doing the same thing he did during that race. He's mocking him. He's coming right at him. They took advantage of the fact that his initial launch was less than desired. We'll put it that way. And DeSantis also has a lot of competition for that lane. And so it really kind of seems like we're watching the same movie, honestly, where you're having, all these other people pulling the people who don't want Trump back. And DeSantis hasn't really, he's above them, but he hasn't really, proved he can surmount Trump yet.
Right. That is the challenge. And
Tim Scott is a virgin. You cannot win like that. Yeah, I know. I know that. America is not ready for a virgin president, okay? America will never have a virgin president, actually. I take it back. It's never going to happen.
And, how do you... The DeSantis calculation is Trump's going to get 30% of the vote in most states. Maybe he'll get 35% here. Can you peel away enough of that in a crowded field? Listen to one of the things he's trying to say, because he knows he has to be careful. Donald Trump, essentially, he says, was great. Not anymore.
Oh!
I don't know what happened.
Whoa! He said he was great. Whoa, dude. This is so stupid. They're trying to be parasocial, to be like, Pog, he's actually owning him. Okay? For the record, from 30-year-old virgin to 57-year-old optimist, how Tim Scott, who says a Chick-fil-A manager changed his life and is devoted to his faith is a very different Republican candidate who wants to be the first unmarried president since 1884. That's right. Tim Scott was a virgin and might still be a virgin. Someone asked him that when he was running. And that's the only thing that people have been talking about. Wonkette, on the other hand, is doing bullshit. Okay? Fucking bullshit. Fuck you guys at Wonkette. Tim Scott will be the first presidential candidate I've ever asked about the status of his virginity. Initial answer. Shouts out to Ben Terrace, by the way. Initial answer, I'm not talking about my sex life with Ben Terrace. Then stood up and said, wait, what? This is not the guy who asked him. This is bullshit. He did not say, I have to go potty. What? Is this actually the guy who was the one who asked? There is no fucking way he actually said, I have to go potty. Anyway, Tim Scott was a virgin, though, originally. Tim Scott was a virgin because of his evangelical Christian faith, and then he wasn't. He entered politics as a virgin. During the time of his first campaign in South Carolina, Scott was a proud 30-year-old virgin, seeing that he intended on staying true to his evangelical Christian faith. As reported by the Daily Mail, he often told audiences that he had never been intimate with a woman because it was against God's word. However, his pledge of abstinence didn't last too long, seeing that after 16 years of being in the political limelight, Scott admitted that around the time he was 46, that he was no longer a virgin. He never did. He never fully admitted that he's not a virgin, I don't think. Oh my God, why are we talking about this? Well, we're talking about this because it's the most important news story of the day, perhaps the week, perhaps the fucking month. Let's be real. Where the fuck is the Wonkette article? Scott has been notoriously hush-hush about his love life and has maintained the super pretty lingerie store owner he went on a vacation with once was just a good family friend. Scott did, however, previously discuss his sex life with Terrace in an interview with the National Journal that is sadly no longer online. This was back in 2012 when Scott was 46. Asked about how well he's sticking to his pledge of abstinence now compared with 16 years ago, he laughed. Yeah, not as well as I did then, Scott told the National Journal from his office in Capitol Hill. The Bible's right. You're better off to wait. I just wish we all had more patience. He's lying. You need to do your journalistic due diligence. You can't just listen to a dude who was a virgin at the age of 30 and take what he's saying at face value and go, oh, well, he said he's no longer a virgin, so he must not be a virgin. No, I refuse. I refuse to believe that Tim Scott actually had sexual intercourse, especially when he ran away from the other journalist from Washington Post who asked him if he was a fucking virgin still. Sorry, we will not be believing this, and I will not be voting for Tim Scott until I find out whether he's a virgin or not. Okay? Isn't this pretty mean? What? Okay. I'm going to explain to you guys something, okay? It's called having fun, okay? The question in and of itself on whether or not an unmarried political candidate running for presidency is a virgin or not is fucking funny. These people have more power than you. It's not like the high school students that are bullying you for not, for lying about your sexual experience when they find out that you don't have a girlfriend that goes to a different school. Stop turning everything that you're experiencing in this broadcast to like your own personal trauma. Okay? Please. Yes, Tim Scott has no bitches. He's fake alpha male, no bitches, okay? Just like the annoying chatters who are like, what the fuck? Even though that chatter wasn't really annoying, he was just like, oh, well, that's kind of mean, but maybe he's like a bad guy. The last unmarried president was also hypothesized to be very, very gay. Well, there was one president that was actually around the same time as the last president who was hypothesized to be very gay. And that man was actually gay, but he was married. His name was Abraham Lincoln. That's right. Abraham Lincoln is either a bisexual icon or potentially just straight gay with a beard. Like a literal beard and the metaphorical beard. I will fuck Tim Scott. Enough of this crap. Yes, Abraham Lincoln was famously in a sexual relationship with his bodyguard. James Buchanan, right before him, also incredibly gay, potentially. Wait, why do they have Obama in this? No, they don't. Dude, look at him. That is a homosexual man, okay? I can get the zest off of directly this photo, okay? This photo that is a real photograph. Is this a photograph or is this painted? I can't tell. Is that weird? Maybe I'm fucking brain broken. I got to go back to the drawing board. It looks like it could be a photo or it could have been painted. I don't know. John F. Kennedy certainly was pansexual. That is the truth. He was the guy who invented pansexuality, actually. Before him, that wasn't a thing. After him, that wasn't a thing either, but he was doing it without people knowing that he was pansexual. He invented it, though, for sure. He was the sluttiest president, 100%. Like, not even a joke. He was definitely the sluttiest fucking president of all time. And he paid the ultimate price for that, which was assassinated by the CIA. That's why they assassinated him after they were done assassinating half the women that he slept with. Anyway, Barack Obama. Okay, that's ridiculous. Barack Obama is not gay. That's just what the right-wingers used to say. The late Joan Rivers added fuel to the conspiracy theory fire when she joked, "We already have it with Obama. You know, Michelle is a T word." That is gross. Lyndon B. Johnson. God damn. Lyndon Big Dick Johnson? Lyndon Big Johnson? I did not know about this. Johnson insisted he had no idea about Jackson's personal life, saying, "I couldn't have been more shocked about Walter Jenkins if I heard that Lady Bird had tried to kill the Pope." More like Lyndon bisexual Johnson. Alexander Hamilton. During the American Revolution, his letters to his close friend John Lawrence and Marquis de Lafayette grew more affectionate and flowery, while many accounts describe Hamilton as feminine. In one letter, Hamilton described himself as a jealous lover over Lawrence failing to reply, adding, "Like a jealous lover, when I thought you slighted my caresses, my affection was alarmed and my vanity piqued." Yeah, I was about to say, we're just doing whoever now. So, yeah, Abraham Lincoln, also gay or bisexual, possibly. This is real, by the way. This is real. One of America's most iconic presidents, Abe, also spent a large portion of his life spooning with men. This part is literally real. In his early adulthood, the president shared a bed with Joshua Speed, who later became a congressman. Not forgetting his roots, Lincoln several times offered Speed a government appointment, only to be rejected every time. LBJ had a fat cock, yeah. That's true. Green remarked of their cozy living situation, "When one turned over, the other had to do likewise. His thighs were as perfect as a human being could be." Another president who was shot after inventing bisexuality. That's right. 2 presidents have been shot and killed. Shot in the head and fucking killed. Okay? Both of those presidents invented one aspect of the fluidity of sexuality. This guy invented bisexuality, JFK invented pansexuality, and the CIA assassinated them even before the CIA existed in the case of Abraham Lincoln. I don't know about the Bill and Hill Clinton thing. Anyway, This is why you come to the HasanAbi broadcast, by the way, to learn about how Tim Scott is definitely a virgin and to learn about how Abraham Lincoln is a bisexual man. You also end up learning at the top of the hour that there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Oh, another person who was never a president, obviously, but instead was instead the director of the FBI. He was also famously either a cross-dresser or potentially a gay man, J. Edgar Hoover, who people used to call J. Edna Hoover. Yeah. Anyway, the ad break. Bill Vog, shut up, Axel. Thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here is a MB Chaos. Thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Oh, speaking of gay shit, McCrumple, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gift to subs as well. One thing I wanted to show you guys that I've seen before, but I had forgotten about, and I think Osita brought it back up, or was it Noah Colvin? I don't know, but I saw this on my timeline again about like the media reaction. Oh, here it is. Tim Carney, this fucking guy, Catholic, immediately. When you put Catholic on your fucking account, you already know you're just awful. It really seems like the media lives in the upside-down world, making it sound like conservatives were aggressors in these culture war skirmishes. Yeah, it's so crazy. The day before yesterday, nobody would have suggested honoring drag nuns or pretending Dylan Mulvaney was a woman. To which Asita replied with a very cool, old-school Daily News article, XGI becomes blonde beauty. Operations transform Bronx youth. A world of difference. There it is. Back then, Denmark was one of the few countries that had sex change operations. The country was known for that around the world. She would obviously have been viewed as a novelty in the American press and as the equivalent of a carnival attraction, like a bearded lady. Well, regardless, it doesn't seem like they were trying to fucking assassinate her. In the same way that the Daily News now writes the most insane shit. Yo, chat. Has North Face ad hogs are going crazy over yet? Yeah, I watched it yesterday. Like, I talked about this before. There was a Bond girl who was trans in the 90s. Like, it's a matter of, I need you to understand, a lot of the fucking anger that conservatives literally, the reactionary movement launches against, okay? A lot of that anger is just, it's misplaced anger, but the conservatives do a very good job of like redirecting people's attention to like dumbass shit. Okay. But like, it's anger that is new. They do everything they can in their power to go, this is the common sense position. Everyone feels this way. We've always felt this way. But no, that's not the case. If that was the case, Mrs. Doubtfire would have never been made, okay? None of the Tyler Perry movies would have ever been made in the 90s. None of the Eddie Murphy movies would have ever been made. The idea that, like, drag queens are actually, they're trans and trans people are dangerous and they're fucking groomers and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff is new. Back in the day, they used to direct this attention to gay people because they saw that as like the audience that they could target all their anger to. The trans Bond girl was early 80s. Yeah, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Drag as a performance has been drag as a performance literally predates women being in theater, okay? That's how long of a history cross-dressing has, okay, in the arts. The idea that this is, anger that people have always felt towards cross-dressing is fucking ridiculous. It's just another way to, why are you question marking me? It's real. Literally, everything I just said is correct. Cross-dressing is older than women in the field of arts. That is a factually correct take. Whether it be like kabuki theater, whether it be Shakespeare, Oh, I didn't say predates women. I said cross-dressing predates women in the arts. Anyway. So, when were women invented? I just got here. Yeah. That's a relatively new phenomenon as well. So conservatives, when they fucking like lose their shit over this kind of behavior, as though this is like something that they've this resentment that they've held on to, it's like, no, you just learned to be angry at that today. Okay? Because people told you you need to be angry at this, and you're an angry person overall, and you're literally looking for anyone that you can redirect that anger towards, and that's why you're doing this shit. Trans in Bond movies is critical race theory. It's critical trans theory. It's CTT. Adam dancing around the Garden of Eden with his junk tucked in between his legs. God going, I gotta get this dude a girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, I know that if you look at biology, men are originally women, biologically speaking, and then they turn into what you understand as a man, like what you understand as a male. But technically, in the Bible, which is what we care about because we're all good, wholesome Christians, all women are men first. After all, Eve was created from Adam's rib. What words change?
Did you know boys used to be called girls? Until the late 15th century, the word girl was used to refer to a child of any gender. Maiden child was used for a little boy, and gay girl was used for a girl, as in female, as in the way we mean it now.
What?
Not to confuse us all. The word boy was actually a derogatory term for servants, and man was used for an adult of any gender, which interestingly is how our 21-month-old refers to all adults, even though he has 2 mums.
Don't look up prostatic utricle. All prostates have a small remaining uterus, a la male nipples. No! Are they just making shit up? It feels like it. I did not know this. But then again, here, dude. If you think that, like, here, this is the best fucking photo that I will show you that completely eviscerates gender norms, okay? Here you go. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? This is the 32nd president of the United States of America, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Okay? Delano? I don't know how to... Anyway... Del Taco. Franklin Del Taco Roosevelt. That's not Hillary Clinton, dog. That's FDR. Because this is how we used to dress our children. Okay? He got groomed. Yeah. Anyway, Charlotte Clymer has, I think, blocked me, so I'm going to have to open that in an incognito tab. If you're a corporate marketing officer concerned over what's happening with Target, let me make something abundantly clear. You will never appease anti-LGBTQ extremists. They don't want some concessions. They want all of them. But there's a colder truth at play here. You think this is about a few items, and it's not. I promise you it's not. They're the same people who are livid that Pink Floyd over the dark side of the moon. Think about that for a second. They're not reasonable. When the Bud Light controversy erupted, the CEO made the unwise choice to cave entirely. He essentially apologized for the company recognizing that trans people exist and put the marketing execs on leave. It didn't work. They're still boycotting it. You need to understand something about these people. Their objective is not really to gain any ground, but to find an outlet for their rage at the world changing around them. She's right. Charlotte Clymer is correct on this. Chat freaking out over a flag in the bio. Yeah, well, Charlotte is not exactly the best person, okay? She is, but she's right on this. She is a hysterical lib that loves American imperialism, okay? Anyway. Centrist NPR boomer take here, but you're taking that FDR thing out of context. It was more because children at that time didn't live to a certain age. So until children hit like 8 or whatever and got into the clear, they didn't bother dressing them to sex. Ken Burns taught me that. What are you talking about? That literally, okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. That doesn't change my argument at all. I don't even know if you're making that shit up. But it doesn't fucking matter. Because that literally does not even change my argument. That is the exact argument I'm making. What the fuck? You just said that gender norms were not as rigid back then, especially in like, you know, in the way that they... in the way that conservatives establish now. The claim has always been that way. Supporting Ukraine is not U.S. imperialism? What? Man, first of all, that's not even what I was saying, okay? Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude. Dude, don't worry, okay? $157 billion worth of weapons is still going to Ukraine because we want to fucking ensure that the Ukrainians have a right to defend themselves, and not because the American defense contractors are, shifting over their budgets from Afghanistan over to Ukraine. That's the real reason that we're sending all those guns over there. You can feel good about it. I promise you. Feel good about it all the time. NATO is great. NATO is good. NATO is God. I want more NATO. I wish Russia could join NATO after we end up killing every Russian. Is that what you want to hear? Is that what all the NATO enjoyers want to hear? Oh, all the orcs, all the Russian orcs. We got to kill all of them orcs. Like, are you happy? NATO guys are so fucking odd that they like literally learned Ukrainian racism against Russian people and have been like saying it like they've been living in fucking Donetsk or something. So weird. Call me NATO silver the way I'm predicting the next wars. Yeah, I had a NATO silver moment. Okay. I love Russian people. What is wrong with you? I don't mean that. Okay. I've come to agree with most of your Ukraine takes, but this is bullshit adversarial. I hate NATO, but I like the Ukrainian people, like people, as well as the Russian people that had no choice in this. I agree. I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I think that Vladimir Putin is fucking insane, okay? I think he's a bloodthirsty, violent freak, much like many global leaders are. And what Vladimir Putin did was unacceptable, unjustifiable, inhumane. Invading Ukraine is all of those things. Ukrainians have a legitimate right to emancipation. The United States government does not care about that. They just care about selling weapons. Okay? Those two things could be correct at the same time. But if you desperately want to feel like, America's goals are earnest in Ukraine, then go ahead, feel that way. None of your feelings are going to change what we are doing in Ukraine regardless. Okay? Stop being lib the fuck up. What's exactly wrong with the Ukrainian flag in her name then? I wasn't even making a reference to her Ukrainian flag in the bio, but everyone with a Ukrainian flag in their bio is annoying as fuck. I will say that. I don't have an issue saying that. 100%. So fucking annoying. Like the worst posters, okay? They do this. They do exactly what I just was doing. I was talking about trans issues in America, and motherfuckers immediately were like, if you don't say we need to nuke Moscow, you're a fucking piece of shit. They literally, yeah, it's the check mark, is the blue check mark for liberalism. Oh, like, at best, it is just like slacktivism, okay? At worst, it's just you're about to hear some of the most insane things you ever heard about whatever the fuck's going on in global affairs. Charlotte Clymer is a fucking rugged American imperialist for other reasons. She's the OG. I think she's a Human Rights Watch, isn't she? She used to be at the Human Rights Watch. She's the OG. Like Raytheon is actually super gay friendly person. That's who you're defending just by virtue of like the fucking Ukrainian flag in the bio. Okay. Anyway, that thread is great, though, regardless, because I can have disagreements with people on other issues and still agree with them when they're making a good point, which is what she was doing. She's right. Anyway. Raytheon is a grassroots company providing monetary and itemized benefits to underdeveloped nations such as Ukraine. They are heroes. Exactly. Oh, she worked at the Human Rights Campaign. Sorry, not Human Rights Watch. The Human Rights Campaign. Yeah, that's the worst one. Human Rights Watch is actually not that bad. Human Rights Watch is the one that actually the NGO that actually correctly identified Israel as an apartheid state. Sorry. I apologize for mistaking the two. After all, they are named very similar to one another. Human Rights Campaign is the one that's like, Raytheon is Gaytheon, brother. And Charlotte worked for Human Rights Campaign. There you go. Charlotte Social Climber. Same insults work from 2015. Yeah. Anyway. For decades, we've been told Russia is a military superpower, but they can't even take Kyiv. I don't get it. Why haven't they leveled Ukraine yet? Perhaps America, the American foreign policy apparatus, has built up this like monster that Russia is when it's a fucking... when it's a nation state that has like the GDP of an American state, okay, and doesn't have the supreme military power, but the way that they turned them into, the way that you can justify like, you know, increasing the military budget is by making it seem like Russia is this big scary bad guy that everyone should be afraid of. I put her in a crate. She peed. She attention peed. So I put her in a crate upstairs. Can you take her out, actually? One time, please. Hello. I have another dog in here. A much nicer dog. Russia's GDP is on par with the state of New York. There you go. HRC is the reason that we have gay marriage, which is about to go anyway, thanks to the Supreme Court, and not legal protections for basically any poor gay, queer, or trans person's civil rights. HRC is also the reason why Gaytheon as a meme exists. Or just so that's the worst thing you can point to in general. I mean, the idea that any day Russia's weak army is going to fall apart is just not true. A peace accord is the only option and the only end. Everything else is war hawking. I agree. Russia's army is not as powerful as the American, the American military industrial complex presented as, and it's not as weak as the way that they're currently presenting it. But such is the nature of war in general. It's just like an extended effort, which is why if you want to end the war, you should try to get everyone involved and the real people that are backing them involved and get to the table and have a conversation about ending the war. It doesn't even matter. I can't believe we're relitigating this dumb shit. Nothing I say or do, or nothing you say or do is actually going to make any changes, okay, in what is going on in Ukraine. I don't know why we consistently talk about this. Like, I see so many threads on both sides on people saying, well, they took over Bakhmut and that's like nothing. That's like so marginal. It's so tiny. Haha. They spent so much time and effort and like leveled the city. And then I see it on the Russian side where they're like, oh, we took it over. It's over. The war's over. We took everything. And it's so fucking dumb. Okay? No, it's just a war of attrition where people are just dying for no fucking reason. Isn't that just most war, though? Yes, it is. It's all war. All war is bad.
Happened to Donald Trump. This is a different guy today than when he was running in 2015 and 2016. And I think the direction that he's going with his campaign is the wrong direction.
Again, trying to convince.
I never said Russia wants what's best for Ukraine. Why did you just make that up? You said, not only did you make that up, but you also added the idea that I said, how can you, that I've been arguing in good faith about how Russia wants what's best for Ukraine. Why the fuck would Russia want what's best for Ukraine? Of course they don't want what's best for Ukraine. They're literally killing Ukrainians right now. Why? They're bombing Western positions. They do not want what's best for Ukraine. They want Ukraine. That's not what's best for Ukraine. What the fuck are you saying? This is why I hate the stupid fucking Ukrainian flag in the bio ass motherfuckers, okay? I never said that.
Trump voters, come to me. I will be Trumpy, but I don't have the baggage. I don't have the grievances. I don't have the negativity. Maybe I can win independence.
This is a difficult balancing act here. You know, he's not criticizing the values, the policies of the former president, but trying to criticize the candidate. And I thought my former colleague Jonathan Martin made a good point in his column today, basically saying that there is this sort of risk here when you criticize the former president, particularly since he has such a grip on the party right now. Mm-hmm. Do you come off as being not a member of the GOP, not one that is supportive of Trump and the party, but more so the other side? Somebody that actually is giving in to Democrats and actually helping out President Biden when you criticize Donald Trump. It's interesting to see him DeSantis continue to make these comments, trying to have a distinction between the policies that Trump supported and saying he no longer is the best candidate to continue to support them, pointed to things such as the border, such as COVID, but while DeSantis continues to use language that is so similar to that of the former president.
And so you mentioned the Jonathan Martin column in Political. Let me read a piece from it because it's a smart column. But he quotes David Kokel, a very veteran Iowa Republican strategist. The conservative media ecosystem has built a giant wall of inoculation around everything Trump. All our voters have ever known about Trump is he's constantly under attack. So he's got these antibodies built up. So, Lauren Fox, that's the question. Can somebody like Ron DeSantis, when Chris Christie says this, or John Kasich says this, or Jeb Bush says this, Trump has already pre-programmed his base to not listen to those people. He's disqualified them. Don't listen. Ron DeSantis is one of them, or at least he wants them to believe he's one of them. Can a Trumpy take on Trump, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think one
Trumpy.
of the biggest questions.
Dude, it's over. When you get called a Trumpy on CNN, you got no shot, dog. You got no shot.
Is will Ron DeSantis be
He called him a Trumpy, dude. That is so lame. God damn, dude.
successful at something that everyone else who has been circling getting into the presidential race or has already gotten into the presidential race has decided not to do? He is really the first one who is taking on Donald Trump in such a direct way. And in some ways, he had no other choice, right? If Donald Trump is going to come after you in the way that Donald Trump came after him right after announcing, perhaps he feels like this is the moment to try. But you raise such a good point, which is that Donald Trump and his supporters, anyone who comes after them, they're just not conservative.
Well, Trump himself has been going after DeSantis constantly. And again, if we could just show the picture of the Republican presidential field, you see on the left side of your screen, the candidates are already in the race. You see on the right side of your screen, candidates who are considering the race. Donald Trump has said good things about Tim Scott. He has said some nice things about Vivek Ramaswamy, for example. He is attacking Ron DeSantis constantly. Several times a day, he goes after him. He calls him a bad nickname, Ron DeSanctimonious. We'll see if that sticks. But Ron DeSantis yesterday asked in those conservative interviews, why do you think he's coming after you? And Ron DeSantis says, it's pretty obvious.
He understands that I've got a good chance to beat him because he doesn't criticize anybody else now. It's only me. They know that I'm more likely to win the election. I mean, for him to say that we're not winning in Florida, nobody has taken a state from being a swing state 4.5 years ago to now being a red state in such a dramatic fashion.
It is interesting to watch him, and again, he's speaking in the conservative echo chamber. He's speaking to people, many of whom are inclined to support Donald Trump. They essentially flipped a switch. As Steve was noting, up until then, he was gentle in his criticism of Trump. They've decided we're in now. This is the only way, as Chris Christie says, the only way to beat Trump is to go through Trump.
Yep, and he is being attacked because he is a threat. I mean, that is very, very clear. I think the former president's people have been pretty clear about that. But DeSantis is going to have to figure out a way to make himself distinctive and not just be Trump light, as Nikki Haley said during one of her stops.
Right, and if you look at our poll, I just want to show right now Republican voters do keep Trump and DeSantis at the top of the pack. Who are you open to voting for? Would support or consider supporting? Trump 84%, DeSantis 85%. You see the others who are that 6 and 10 or less there. Here's the question. If DeSantis is going to daily now, repeatedly attack Trump in the conservative ecosphere, watch that number. Does that number...
This is so funny.